Hey, Lucy. How are you, my friend? Shoe time. Then watch time. Hey, Sandy.
This is not your typical running shoe. The adapter.
Sorry, guys. I'm getting advertisements on my page for barefoot shoes, which is awesome because I love wearing barefoot shoes. The shoes I'm putting on right now are not barefoot shoes, but they have limited holes in them, so they'll do for now. There's a hole developing. Hey, Ellie. Happy Halloween to you. Also, happy birthday if you see him out there wandering around. It's our friend Praveen's birthday. Excuse me, guys. I slept in today. I never sleep in. Ever, ever, ever. I can count on one hand and one finger the amount of times I've slept in for the past 5, 6, 7, 8 years. But I slept in today. You know why? I was exhausted from the kazoo playing last night. Ellie says, sorry I couldn't stay last night. That's okay. My sister's having a big meltdown. It happens, my friend. Sorry. Wiping my nose in public. How's your morning going? Sandy, my morning's going pretty well. How about you? Hey, Sniper. Sniper says Halloween greetings. What are your plans for Halloween, Sniper? Lucy's doing great. And how am I? I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Hey, Sissy. Hey, Phil. Manifestor is here. Hey, we don't normally see you so early. Sniper says, or I'm sorry, Phil says, Sniper, my internet bummed out last night. Sandy says, the morning is going pretty good. Good, Sandy, good. Ellie says, hey, everyone. How are you amazing people? All right. So, what I wrote this morning was inspired by my guest this afternoon, 1 o'clock. It's going to be a short live stream. I'm going to end it after she leaves, and she can only stay maybe an hour. Maybe. She's a very, very busy person, and she graciously, kindly accepted my invitation to come up and talk. But again, maybe she'll be able to do an hour, which is okay. Hey, Jamie, because I'm just looking forward to spending time with her. She is a very important figure in the community of A Course in Miracles, which is a very large community, by the way, extending millions worldwide. She is the executor of the Circle of Atonement, her and her husband, and they publish some course materials. They have a wonderful webpage. They have basically a school. If you want to learn all things Course in Miracles, if you want to put it into practice, and they have a beautiful YouTube page. Circle of Atonement. Here's the important thing for me. They talk about our responsibility for social engagement. Very often the Course is interpreted as a means of turning within, which it is, but then staying within. Tend to your own garden, and don't worry about other people, right? A lot of spiritual paths are that way. You know, we get the image of the wandering sadhu, the monk, who is, basically just wandering. Maybe every once in a while talking, but not really engaged, or, the yogi in the Himalayan cave, avoiding people. People say, if you think you're enlightened, wait until Thanksgiving dinner at a politically divided table. See what happens. I tend to agree, by the way. Emily is going to talk about our responsibility to be socially engaged with others. And there's a beautiful metaphor. In chapter 18 of the Course in Miracles. We do want to tend our garden. That's our only responsibility, is to tend our garden. But a gardening is supposed to be a welcoming place. That the world that we experience, the world in which we've created with the projection of egoic thoughts, is a desert, meaning that it is really void of, of loving thoughts, of true kindness, of practicing forgiveness. It's a bargaining place, right? I will give you this if I get this. I will give you this if I get that. I will give you that if I get this. Whatever. That has created a very arid climate in which uh, the experience of true love, the experience of God's love, is largely felt or experienced as absent. Doesn't mean that it's absent. It means that we have abdicated our responsibility to tend a garden that is welcoming to all people. Some of us have seen that in our channel. Some of us have seen that here, right? Don't welcome everyone to your garden. Don't welcome everyone to your garden, right? This person is going to upset things. He's going to um, make it unpleasant for others. But the role of the garden is to be welcoming and welcoming and welcoming to everyone. Give me a second, guys. Sandy says, "What is everyone doing for Halloween?" This will be it. We had our Halloween celebration yesterday. Nature's Dog Realms came up and we hung out. Nature's Dog Realm. There's no S at the end. I have a tendency to put S's where they don't belong. Phil says, "Hey sissy, 8 a.m. creating my own hand-painted tarot deck. Wow, nice. When they are printed, I will gift you a deck." Sissy says, "Seven of Pentacles, patience, and tending to our own gardens came out in my tarot yesterday as well. Sync. Awesome." So what's going on, Jamie? I saw your video. You getting stronger? Hey, Brandon. Good morning. First time I've been to your morning live. Well, welcome in. Hey, Kat. Yogi, Sandy is Yogi. Sandy's in the hospital right now, getting ready to give birth to baby Elizabeth. So let's send some blessings. Maybe ring the bell. Definitely ring the bell. Ring the bell for Sandy and for baby Elizabeth. 3 times, guys. Here we go. Sandy, for you, my friend, for baby Elizabeth, and thank you, Kat. Sandy says, "Thank you, guys. I'm going to get off here." Hey, Jose. Check your left ear. I think it's bleeding. That's okay. I will just continue to bleed out. Manifestor says, "And welcome, baby Elizabeth." Kat says, "Love you, Sandy." Hey, Kamika, how are you? So who is it that calls you Kamika? So I'm going to read what I wrote, and then I'll read from the course. Anyway, this is what we're going to talk about with Emily. She did a wonderful video of just this. This is chapter 18 in A Course in Miracles, and it's titled "The Little Garden." We were talking about the arid conditions of the world, but within those perimeters of that arid garden that we have created with our unloving thoughts and the lack of awareness of love's presence and the lack of awareness of God, we have created that desert. And yet, as Herman Melville said in Moby Dick, that insula Tahiti existing in the heart of man. You have a flower, you have a garden. As we tend to it, our own little garden, as we tend to it, cultivating loving kindness. I love that term. It's a Buddhist term, loving kindness. Cultivating loving kindness extending it to others. Each person is welcome to our garden. The garden is your heart. Everyone's welcomed. Everyone. Those who are in the greatest need will appear to be the most hostile. Welcome everyone. This is what Rumi said. Let me read Rumi too. If I remember, I'm going to read all this. Um, so we're talking about kingdom surrounding the garden. The kingdom, that within this kingdom, the ego rules and cruelly. And to defend this little speck of dust, it bids you fight against the universe. This fragment of your mind is such a tiny part of it that it could not appreciate the whole. You would see instantly that it is like the smallest sunbeam to the sun, or like the faintest ripples on the surface of the ocean. It is amazing arrogance. This tiny little sunbeam has decided it is the sun. That's the ego. This almost imperceptible ripple hails itself as the ocean. Think how alone and frightened this little thought, this infinitesimal, I said that right, illusion. It's an illusion, holding itself apart against the universe. The sun becomes the sunbeam's enemy that would devour it, and the ocean terrifies this little ripple and wants to swallow it. Yet neither sun nor ocean is even aware of all this strange and meaningless activity. They merely continue unaware that they are feared and hated by a tiny segment of themselves. Even that segment is not lost to them, for it could not survive apart from them. And what it thinks is in no way changes its total dependence on them for its being. Its whole existence still remains in them. Without the sun, the sunbeam would be gone. The ripple without the ocean is inconceivable. Like the sun and the ocean, yourself, capital S, our true self, our truest self. Like the sun and ocean, yourself continues, unmindful that this tiny this tiny part, regards itself as you. The ego regards itself as me, and yet the self remains detached from that little thought of separation. It is not missing, it could not exist if it were separate, nor would the whole be without it. It is not separate, it's not a separate kingdom ruled by an idea of separation from the rest, nor does a fence surround it, preventing it from joining the rest and keeping it apart from its creator. This little aspect is no different from the whole, being continuous with it and one with it. It leads no separate life, because this life is the oneness in what is being created. Do not accept this little fenced-off aspect of yourself. The sun and ocean are as nothing beside what you are. The sunbeam sparkles only in the sunlight, and the ripple dances as it rests upon the ocean. This is the most poetic, I think, of all the course. Yet neither sun nor ocean is the power that rests in you. Would you remain within your tiny kingdom, a sorry king, a bitter ruler of all that he surveys, who looks on nothing, yet would still die to defend it? This little self is not your kingdom. Arched high above it and surrounding it with love is a glorious whole, which offers all its happiness and deep content to every aspect. That little aspect that you think you are sets apart no exception. So, that imaginary kingdom, within that imaginary kingdom, the thought of God surrounds our little kingdom, waiting at the barrier built to come inside and shine upon the barren ground. See how life springs up everywhere. The desert becomes a garden, green and deep and quiet, offering rest to those who lost their way and wander in the dust. Give them a place of refuge prepared by love for them for them where once the desert was. And everyone you welcome will bring love, and with him from heaven to you. They enter one by one into this holy place, and they will not depart as they had come, alone. The love they brought with them will stay with them as it will stay with you, and under its beneficiaries, your little garden will expand and reach out to everyone who thirsts for living water but has grown too weary to go alone. That's our role right there. Tend to your garden, make it a place of beauty, and welcome others so that they may learn to tend to their garden, so they might bask in the light that you've offered them, so they might flower into their true existence. Man, this is why we're engaged. This is why, if you are called to go to an event, a march, a protest, feel free, do so. Don't think you have to be separate or apart. But in your heart, you're not protesting. In your heart, you're not marching. In your heart, you are tending to your garden and welcoming others. Everyone, everyone you meet. Cypher, who was it? Which Greek philosopher said, uh, be kind to everyone, for everyone is fighting their own battles. Everyone is fighting the hardest battle. So this is what I wrote. My garden. I wrote this morning. To extend the garden. That's the present metaphor for my only true spiritual practice. Continuously offering myself in this moment as a place to rest and remember that we blossom now as love. There's a beautiful passage in chapter 18 of A Course in Miracles that offers this description. We are likened to a desert in the absence of our awareness to God's presence, and without the bloom of love. And yet the thought of God surrounds this desert, every visitor offering an opportunity to grow the flower of kindness and beauty. With this, we extend ourselves to others in warmth and light in order to expand this sacred garden. So my practice is to tend my own little garden, welcoming the sunlight of your presence and even the tears that rain through the clouds of your sorrow. We'll rest together here. We'll rest together here, healing in this sacred light, seeds of love planted in our hearts. Your own garden grows from here, our moment of kindness, flowering, expanding further still, and inviting others to rest in our kindness. And so our little garden grows. That's it. I got to rewrite some of that. I messed up a bit. All right, guys, I'm going to dive into the conversation. But first, no, I was going to read Rumi, but I won't. I'll dive into the conversation, see what's up. Hey, Silverbird. Hey, Stephen. I like that, Stephen. Let myself become less and decrease, and let Jesus Christ increase. Hey, Miss Flipper. Miss Flipper, Emily Perry's coming up this afternoon. Miss Flipper says, where is the garden? He replied, it's on the earth. I don't see why they wouldn't mix, my friend. Hey, Droth. Hey, Sissy, you never have to promise anything to us. We know you. I see you. I see your heart. All right. So, that's the garden metaphor. Let me read the other thing that I wanted to read. And then we're going to wrap things up. I'll dive into the conversation one last time. Guys, I really hope you show up for Emily. Last thing I'm going to read, I promise you. If you ever want a wonderful place online to look for poetry, Scottish Poetry Library. They have some of my favorite poems. All right, this is Rumi, guys. Rumi is the great Persian Sufi poet. 13th century, I believe. I've read this quite a few times, but we'll read it once more. Hey, Willa. This human being is a guest house. Every morning a new arrival. A joy, a depression, a meanness, some momentary awareness comes as an unexpected visitor. Welcome and entertain them all, even if they're a crowd of sorrows who violently sweep your house empty of its furniture. Still, treat each guest honorably. He may be cleaning you out for some new delight. The dark thought, the shame, the malice, meet them at the door laughing and invite them in. Be grateful for whoever comes, because each has been sent as a guide from beyond. Each has been sent as a guide from beyond. So who knows? Who knows who's going to show up in your life today that has been sent by a guide from above? Willa says, weird question. I changed my profile photo yesterday. I don't know if I like it or not. Let's see. Bring up Willa's channel. Oh, I like it. What a great photo of Yoda. Basking in the sunlight. It's beautiful, Willa. Willa, I got to tell you, you are overdue for making some live streams, my friend. All right. Hey, Todd. Thanks. This has been very useful in my life. I'm working on being a better person. It's hard. It's hard as long as you're working. Guess what, Todd? You are already the best person you could ever be. You were created in the very likeness of the Creator himself, or herself, or itself. You contain the Christ light. You are infinite love already. So instead of thinking I need to improve myself, what if the only thing you really needed to do, what if your only spiritual practice was to remove the blocks of love's awareness? That the very best you already in existence, but it's blocked. In yoga, it's called the 5 kleshas, the 5 afflictions of the mind. The entire role of yoga is to see through those kleshas, to come to the awareness of who you are. And who you are is the awareness of being aware. And we can say that awareness is synonymous with unconditional infinite love. So your only role, let me bring back Course in Miracles. Todd, this is for you. Everything's a Course in Miracles. Everything is yoga. So don't think that you need to get the book, Course in Miracles, and crack it open to lesson 1 and work your way through. You might be called. You might feel like you should do that, which is awesome if you do, and we're here to help. But if you don't want to do it, the practice is the same. Become aware of who you truly are. The Course. Now here it's Course with a small c. Your course might be Taoism. Your course might be Buddhism. Your course might be an esoteric practice. Your course might be Druidism. It might be, I don't know, you might be a Sufi. Who knows? Doesn't matter. Your course. Here's the thing. Your course does not aim at teaching the meaning of love. Your course does not aim at teaching the meaning of love, for that is beyond what can be taught. It does aim, however, at removing the blocks to the awareness of love's presence, which is your natural inheritance. The opposite of love is fear, but what is all-encompassing can have no opposite. Your course can therefore be summed up very simply in this way: nothing real can be threatened, nothing unreal exists. Herein lies the peace of God. So Todd, don't put so much pressure on yourself. If you're truly seeking to offer kindness to others and to the world, guess where it starts? In your own heart, to yourself. Be kind to yourself. Loving kindness to yourself. Hey, Lee. Lee, you're another one. I think you're really going to like the guest this afternoon, 1 o'clock. Willa is already at the stables with Rebel. We are good, Willow. Thanks for hanging out. Kindness is from kin. He says, Yogi, I like the course has no deadlines. For someone who doesn't always see things through, it's perfect. Agreed. So if you guys search, YouTube search, Carol Howell, Howel, and she has videos for every single lesson of A Course in Miracles, 365. For those who are more visual, for those who are more, resonate more with an audible lesson, watch and listen to the video. Lee says, Yogi, I'm looking forward to this afternoon. Lee, what she talked about reminds me of you. She talks about creating this little garden in your heart and welcoming others. That's our practice. Giving people a little place to rest, to bloom, to plant that seed of love. And when they go on their way at a time of their own choosing, we don't chase anyone out. When they go on their way, their own seed has been planted, their own garden has been tended, and now the garden expands and expands and expands. All right, guys, I'm going to go in just a minute. I didn't take the garbage out last night. Last night was fun. For those who showed up, what do you think of my Halloween costume? Todd says, thanks, very helpful. You're welcome, Todd. If we can help you anyway, come on by, hang out. We'll do what we can. Miss Ripper says that roommate was exactly what I needed to hear. New guest arriving. Miss Ripper, you think we'll be back on for the coming up Monday? Hey, Cindy. Cindy, how are you? Sorry I didn't see you when you first came in. Hey, Premier. I prefer the great warrior poet Eminem. I like Eminem. Do you like his new stuff? He's someone else. He's taken a pretty strong social stand. He has probably alienated very many of his original fans. Miss Pippa says, yep, I think so. For Monday, awesome. Lucy said, what did Lucy say? See you later, Yogi Eric. And everyone, I have to get ready for my live stream. I'll be on the lookout for you. Hey, Daniel. Happy Halloween to you, my friend. Let's see. Kelly says, can I please request a prayer for my friend Joe? Yes. Prayers for Joe. No need to know what's going on. Just know that we're sending love. We're sending kindness. We are sending healing thoughts to your friend Joe. And to you as well. And thank you for looking out for your friend. Hey, Fred. I appreciate you hitting the like button, Fred. Bell for Joe. Hey, this is for Joe. Kelly. 3 times, my friend. All right, guys. Thank you, Miss Flipper. Thank you for that suggestion. Again, I hope you guys come on by and hang out at 1 o'clock Eastern Central Time. 5 o'clock, the 5:25 one, we're just going to hang out, have fun. Whatever happens, happens. We've had a few new friends come in, a little upset that we're not always talking about yoga or philosophy or important stuff. Here's the thing with philosophy. Doesn't mean anything. Doesn't mean anything. You might get some great thoughts from it, But unless you are able to, reading a book on being a Stoic is not being a Stoic. Reading a book on meditation is not meditating. The only one thing that you need to do is find that which resonates in your heart and practice that by living it. Stoicism is actually a beautiful, beautiful practice, and it actually talks quite a bit of appreciating beauty. We think of it as grinding our teeth, gritting our teeth in the experience of all the bad stuff. We don't show emotion. Nope, not at all. You can show all the emotion that you want. That's part of the enduring of the present moment. Sometimes that present moment contains sorrow that brings you to your knees. Instead of the appearance of being stoic, what if on your knees you offered a prayer? What if on your knees you buried your head and you cried? And then you stood up and you welcomed the next moment, whatever that might contain. That's being a stoic. There's no fronting. There's no egoic stance of, look at me, I can endure everything. Sometimes you can't. But there's always the next moment. Hey, no, how are you, my friend? I'm just wandering, man. My thoughts are wandering all over the place. Kelly says, to Lee, I appreciate you, Karen. Lee has a very, very, very caring heart, guys. My Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Thank you to your moderator. You're welcome, my friend. Fred says, I figured out how the earth gets its energy to power. You're always thinking, Fred. You are always thinking, my friend. Miss Flipper says, philosophy, love of wisdom in many ways. I think the problem is when we let it get so abstract that it's not a practice. I love how Wayne Dyer used to say, don't be a Buddhist, be a Buddha. Don't be a Christian, be the Christ. Philologus is a lover of learning. Hey, Selina. Selina, I'm glad I waited and didn't shut down the live stream. Otherwise, I would have missed you, my friend. So there was a story Ignatius Warren used to tell. He visited, he was a teacher at Berkeley, 1960s, of English literature. He came from India on a Fulbright scholarship to teach English literature to students at Berkeley in the 1960s. But he was also a Sanskrit scholar and a yogi, meditation teacher. Kat says, I love the new direction, Yogi. Growth. Thank you, Kat. Thank you, Kat. Kat, I hope you're having fun. One day, so Ignatius Warren started teaching classes on the Bhagavad Gita after his English lit. And he started teaching meditation from there. He had a very unique way of meditating called passage meditation. And I can hold my breath infinitely. I'm holding my breath right now. I am so adept at my yogic practice, you can't even tell when I'm holding my breath. However, probably right after I end the live stream, I'm just going to keel on over. He would teach meditation. He was invited by a teacher of Eastern philosophy to dinner. And the teacher could not wait to show him all of his books on meditation. Tons of them, shelf after shelf, books from all over the world, steeped in the tradition of meditation from all over the place. And Ignatius was very impressed and said, wow, your meditation practice must be very profound and very deep. And the professor said, he was kind of sheepish. I don't have time to meditate. I'm busy teaching. I'm busy collecting books. I'm busy reading. I really don't have time to meditate. And then he said, but, what about you? What books on meditation do you enjoy? And Ignatius Warren said, to be honest with you, I don't have time to read books on meditation. I'm too busy meditating. There's the difference. Gun says, there's a game called Oddworld. The chanting in game seems yogic. I like it. Nice. I do like a good yogic chant. Miss Pippa says, well, infinitely is a lot. It is a lot. It is a lot. I'm not bragging. I'm not bragging. Sissy says, we don't mind, Yogi. We love your side quest. They go all over the place, don't they? Fred says, just food for thought. There's always an answer. We can flip that around too. There's always a question. I love, again, I don't need to qualify it. Anthony, this comes from Anthony Robbins. I always want to throw in, I'm not a huge fan of Anthony Robbins. It doesn't matter if I am or I'm not. If you like him, awesome. He's a good teacher. He said the quality of your life depends on the quality of your questions. What are you asking of yourself? What are you entertaining? Manifesto says, Eric, that comeback made me think he was being it, not doing it. There you go. Miss Pippa says, I don't think there's always a question. I don't know. I like that thought of jhana yoga, that it's through the questioning that we come to the great mystery. As soon as we think we know it, it isn't it. As soon as we quantify the Tao, we've seemingly left the Tao. As soon as we think that we have found God, we've come to a description of God that makes us comfortable. Just my thoughts on it. Simpa says, the only question is the one you present to yourself. I agree. Sissy says, embodiment. Cindy says, hey dear, I attended C. Berkeley first semester transfer program for my school. That was spring of '85. C. Berkeley is a different planet. I've heard it is a different planet. Especially during the 1960s. Miss Pippa says, I didn't know that. I didn't say that we know the answer. You did not. You are right about that. You are right about that. But I think there's a tendency that we want to latch on to something. We want firm ground to stand upon and say, all that searching, and now I'm it. I've talked some of the people that have come up, Tom Thompson, great yogi, and others. I think we talked about this with Dave Fair as well. We so much want to declare ourselves enlightened. We want an end to our journey. Miss Pippa says, I just don't think always a question. I don't believe questions are eternal. I don't know. I think we could flip the metaphor around in so many different directions to make it work for us. So whatever metaphor works for us, that questioning is eternal. God always questioning of what I will appear as next, or whether we say that it isn't. That's whatever metaphor is working for us. Hey, Derpy, how are you, my friend? Awakening, doing, embodiment, being. Derpy says, Happy Friday to you. So we're going to head out in just a minute. I know, I keep saying that. Kat, did you go back to bed? Sepa says, my deeper questions never answers, but more questions to answers. So I always go back to Ramana Maharshi. The only true and short question to ask ourselves is, who am I? Kat says, not yet. Selina says, Seabrook student looks so conservative in the classic film The Graduate. Yeah, that probably wasn't the case, so what, though, was it? Thank you, Sissy. Samper says, that's my question, Eric. And the one thing that Ramana Maharshi always said is, you never ever settle on an answer. Um, because as soon as you do, then you're not it. Kat says, I'm too excited to be on Dolphin Watch this morning. What time's that start? Samper says, M is the container, Y is the union. Snipe, I'm looking forward to Tuesday or Wednesday, sorry, and the direction that you're going to be going with. All right, Kat, I hope you see nothing but dolphins and maybe a whale and maybe a stingray, maybe an octopus, maybe a squid. Kat says, sunrise, I suppose they said coffee and dolphins. Mokat and Yusad. First says Earth gets the power from the sun. How is another question. Gotcha. What if the soil? What if the trees? What if you and I? We are batteries for the absorption of the energy, for the power. Let's see. Dirpa says, got to go. Have to take a shower for school. Hey, have a good day at school. He says, Yogi, what animals are you seeing on your autumn walks? Not that many. Not that many. Mainly because of the time. What I love about the early morning walks is animals are either waking or they're going to sleep. So you get a good chance of seeing them going back and forth, whatever it is they're doing. But right now, when I do see something, it's too dark to film. My camera doesn't pick it up. Or because of that awkward time change, more people are out walking at these times than normal. Running, walking the dogs, going to school, getting ready for work. So it keeps the animals from coming out. But I'm going to get some extra early morning sunlight starting Sunday with the hour change. It won't last very long, but it'll give me enough. I did see my beavers 2 or 3 days ago. I saw a few deer a couple days ago. I see rabbits every morning. I saw a hawk in my backyard yesterday. And I got some nice shots of my neighborhood hawk. I have not seen my owl in a while, but I heard one like right next to my ear walking through a tree, but I couldn't locate it. I see my blue heron yesterday morning. It was raining. I couldn't get a shot of it. My ducks, my geese. What else? It's been a little bit since I've seen a fox. There's an eagle floating around, but I haven't seen it. How about a porpoise with a purpose? It would be something to see. Harvey is having a poo. Are you having one? Or are you leaving one? Sissy says, did you get to see a raccoon? It's my backyard on surveillance camera. Awesome. I saw one maybe 2 months ago. You're having one. Okay. Enjoy. All right, guys. With that, I gotta go. Uh, come on by, hang out with us, hang out with Emily. Harvey says, "So, what are you up to?" I'm getting ready to end the live stream. I'm gonna go out and take a walk. I'm gonna do my workout. Sissy says, "Morning poops are amazing." They can be. Harvey says it's coming out. Well, no, it sounds to me like you're leaving it then. Um, all right, we get some happy poop from Miss Flipper. I was about to ask the difference between a poop and a poo, but you know that's just going to sidetrack me. I'll be here for another 15 minutes talking about that. We don't really need to know. Sissy says, love poop humor. Who doesn't love a good poop joke? All right, guys. Harvey, I'm glad that we were here to experience this moment with you. An Italian caca. That's not as poetic as I thought it would be. All right, guys, I'm gonna go. Take care. Come by, hang out with Emily. This is gonna be big, guys. I think this is gonna be, for me, the most. I loved everyone that's come up, but I don't know. Something feels pretty big about this. All right, love you guys. Take care.